Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's video, we're going to be doing some maintenance on Autofinesse's M2 competition. Now if you're familiar with the channel already, you'll have seen a couple of videos that we've done already where we upgraded the car with the CSF cooling package, the WaveTrack LSD, and also the full SPL suspension catalogue and the Team Sherma front and rear brake package on this car. James dropped down the car, wanted it to do some maintenance on the car just to give it like a spanner check, see if there's any potential issues with the car that we need to get resolved before this track season, and then also service the car, run through some consumables to have like a pain-free track season. So we're going to get started on that on the car. So things that we are definitely going to be fitting, so replace the front rotors, replace the front pads, replace the rear pads. Rear brake discs still look quite good. Supplying with spares for the brake discs on the front and also the pads, because last year he went through a couple of sets of pads. And then other thing we're going to do, obviously service the vehicle, and then we're going to be changing out the steering wheel for a KMP drivetrain steering wheel. So replacing the M Performance steering wheel because customer doesn't really particularly like it, doesn't really like the shift lights on there. So we're going to go for something a little bit simpler, a little bit more motorsport on this particular car, and obviously give it a whole entire spanner check. So we've actually spanner checked the vehicle already when it was delivered to us a couple of weeks ago, and we found a few things such as some of the consumables like the bearings on a couple of the arms have quite a lot of play in them, so we're going to get those replaced. Now it's normal for these spherical bearings, obviously they've got like a service life, so they do need to be replaced every now and again. So to have this kit on the car for about 1 or 2 years and only be replacing a couple of the bearings really isn't too bad, considering we've got the whole entire kit on it. We're also going to be installing some dust boots on there as well, which weren't supplied in the original kit, so we're going to be installing those whilst we're fitting some new dust boots. Other thing that we found was that the dampers, one of them is has got some play internally, so we're going to have to get them sent away to have them refurbished. However, that doesn't really work with the time frame of the customer because it's about 8 to 8+ week lead time on those, and he's got a track day next week actually, so that's obviously not going to work. So within that time frame, we managed to source a kit from Moton. So we're going to be upgrading from the KW Club Sport kit that's on there at the moment to a Moton 3-way kit with dry brakes at the front and dry brakes in the rear. So the front reservoirs are going to be mounted in the engine bay, and then the rear reservoirs we're going to mount inside the car. So we've got really easy adjustments so the customer can get the car set up to just how he likes. Other thing we're going to be doing is that we noticed that a couple of these wheels are actually a little bit egg-shaped, so they're no longer circular and round. And then also a couple of these wheels already have also had cracks in them and been welded. So obviously on a track car, wheels as well as some of the suspension parts do become consumables. So just like these cast wheels, they're also consumables as well. So we're going to be upgrading to some forged Titan 7 wheels. So it's a new wheel brand that we're actually going to be stocking and installing on all of our in-house cars, and then hopefully bring them to the UK for some other customers to enjoy as well. So these Pro Track wheels on the moment, they're what's called like a cast extrusion. So they're a cast ignot, they start off life as, they're not a true sort of like forged wheel, whereas the Titan wheel is actually a forged wheel from the start all the way through to the finish. So it's going to be a lot stronger, a lot lighter, and they also come with a lifetime structural warranty as well, so perfect for track use. So we're still waiting for a few of the parts to actually arrive. Obviously as they arrive, we'll do like a little talk through, show you a little bit of the differences between the parts that are fitted already and some new parts. Okay, so we've removed the current suspension setup from the car. Now this setup's been on the car for about 3 or 4 years, and obviously the car's gone through many different iterations, from being essentially like being a standard car to a fast road car, track day car, and then being even more refined for track use as well, like we said earlier on in the video, like all the suspension arms, diff, more power, stickier tyres, lighter wheels, bigger brakes front and rear, and all that kind of stuff. So this suspension that was fitted to the car 3 or 4 years ago isn't really necessarily right for the particular application that's being used in now, which is probably why we're seeing what we're seeing with this suspension. And the key thing to think about suspension as well is they are wear items, and obviously the more load you put them through, the more you're going to reduce the lifetime of it. So this suspension at the moment appears to have a bent piston in there, and then also there's a lot of play in the actual like damper as well, probably from like a worn guide, and also the seal is quite wet as well, so the internal oil is actually escaping the damper. So the rest of the units are actually all good, so 3 of the other damper units don't appear to have any problems, seems to be in working order. So we'll get this sent away to the manufacturer to get it all nice and rebuilt and get it back into service for the customer if he wants to use it. So we've got the Moton suspension kit here that we're going to be upgrading the car with. Reason why the customer chose to upgrade it is because he wanted to obviously improve the car, but then also the downtime from the manufacturer of this suspension was quite long, and he wanted to get it back on the road and enjoy it ASAP. So Moton were able to supply us with their 3-way kit in the time frame that we needed it. And there's a few benefits of the kit itself. So we'll start off with the front damper, which we've got here. So one of the nice benefits of this particular kit is that you can do all of the adjustment without lifting up the car. So you've got the rebound adjuster on the top here, and then we have the remote reservoir here for the high and low speed compression, and we'll mount that probably inside the engine bay. And you've got some nice quick release dry brakes rather here. Other things about this suspension is it is monotube, has a thicker piston in there, and also much more motorsport oriented design, so it should last a lot longer with this particular customer's use case. And then we have the rear damper just here as well. So this particular rear damper, if I put it up the right way around, also has the remote reservoir with a high and low speed compression, and we're going to mount this inside the car, probably on the rear roll cage. Has a solid top mounting, so the current suspension on the car reuses the factory top mounts, so this will remove any compliance from the top mounting. And then also you've got the rebound adjustment just at the bottom, so you can literally just reach your hand around and then just adjust the rebound if you want to. So nice and easy to adjust the suspension for any type of track the customer is going to go for. So that's going to solve obviously the wear issue with the suspension, and also hopefully improve lap times as well. So yeah, we'll get all this fitted to the car and keep on progressing through the build. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch other videos of ours that YouTube thinks you'll like, then click up here. If you'd like to watch some other videos that we have in the same playlist, then click here. And obviously if you enjoyed the video, then we really appreciate if you gave us a subscription. And then obviously you'll be updated when other videos of ours go live, and you can do that quite easily by clicking here. Hope to see you soon.